It is the year 1532, and the English royal house is in turmoil. The state of the monarchy is threatened. King Henry VIII finds himself without an heir. Dissatisfied with his current wife, Catherine of Aragon, Henry seeks a new wife, Anne Boleyn. Unfortunately for Henry, his current wife blocks him from marrying Anne. And having a child with Anne without marrying her would make the child illegitimate. Desperate for help, Henry decides to ask Pope Clement VII for an annulment. What is it, Henry? Good day, Your Holiness. How are you today? I'm fine. What do you want? I would like to ask for a marriage annulment for my wife, Catherine of Aragon. She has failed to produce any male heirs for me. Oh, I'm sorry, Henry. I don't think I can do that. Our doctrine states that— This is an emergency, Clement. The royal house of England is at stake. I have ancestry dating all the way back to William the Conqueror. You can't just let our over 400-year lineage disappear over some doctrine? Well, under normal circumstances, I might make an exception, but— But what? What, Clement? Well, you see, Henry, ever since Rome got sacked 5 years ago, I've depended on Charles V for support. So what? You see, your wife is kind of his aunt, and if I let you divorce her, he would get very angry at me. I can't risk that, Henry. You have to understand. The papacy— So what about the papacy? You're always more concerned about yourselves than anything else. If you won't help me, I'll start my own church. Henry, you can't be serious. But Henry hung up before he could finish. Later, Henry went to see his closest advisors, Thomas Cromwell and Thomas Cranmer. They went on to help him to annul his marriage with Catherine and abolish papal authority in England. By 1533, Henry and Anne were secretly married. The next year, Parliament passed the Act of Supremacy to officially break all ties with the Catholic Church. By this decree, we will finally be free from the oppression that is the Catholic Church. I am your new religious leader. By this, I also pass the Treason Act. Anybody who denies my authority shall be severely punished, and we will mock them for their acts. Henry set Cranmer and Cromwell to work in removing Catholic influences from England. Within 2 years, Cromwell had closed the monasteries and added their possessions to the royal treasury. Cranmer tried to get Henry to reform the church even more, but he refused. Anne Boleyn had finally given Henry a child, but not a son. His daughter Elizabeth was not enough for him. Henry eventually had Anne killed for committing adultery. Henry's third wife finally bore him a son, Edward VI. After 3 more wives, Henry died and left the crown to Edward at the age of 9. Seizing his opportunity with the new king, Cranmer was finally able to enact the reforms he so desired, including the establishment of a Book of Common Prayer. When Edward died just 6 years later, his half-sister Mary took the throne and threw Elizabeth in jail. Mary tried to re-Catholicify England, but her brutal tactics led to the opposite occurring. When Mary died, Elizabeth claimed the throne. During her reign, she undid the re-Catholicification performed by her half-sister. The passing of the Act of Uniformity established her as a moderate religious leader to appease to both sides of the religious spectrum. But not all was well, as her Catholic neighbors were not pleased with this turn of events, and in 1588 the Spanish King Philip II sent his fleet of ships to try to invade England. "The British will not get away with this. We will storm the English Channel and restore their faith in God." "Sir, are you sure we can win this? We are badly outmanned. The British will wipe the floor with us." "Our armada is on the side of the one true God. When the lowly British people see us, they will come running for us to escape this Protestant wasteland. Elizabeth's power base will crumble. God will surely send us a miracle to help us destroy these heathens. Some freak weather or something, don't worry." But the miracle Philip hoped for never came. The Spanish Armada was forced to flee by means of the northwest route and could never mount their attack on the British Navy. "No! Estamos jodiendo! Ay, caramba!" And with this decisive victory, the British were no longer threatened by the Catholics, and the English Reformation remained in place.